Welcome to episode 6 of the Burn Music Show. From Public Enemy to Billy Joel and Pat Benatar, Long Island, New York has been home to so many influential artists. And I'm confident Adam and the Metal Hawks can carry on with that tradition, which is why I'm excited to present them as my guest to you today. They're young, as their ages range from mid-teens to early 20s. But don't let that fool you. These guys are influenced by some of the biggest legends in the game and maybe just as talented. So stay tuned as we have our first ever full band interview on this episode. And please, bear with the audio quality. Coronavirus has us all conducting this interview cross-country and on 5 different cell phones. This is the Burn Music Show. I'm your host, Dimitri. Let's go. Huge riffs, slamming drums, banging bass, and vocals out of this world. Adam and the Metal Hawks are here to slay our ears, and I'm so happy to have them as our guests today. Dudes, how are you?
Doing great, man.
What's
Thanks for
up?
having us.
Doing good.
Doing awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for being here. So your self-titled debut album hit last week, right? And it's such a fun rock album. Individually, you all shine on it, but together, I feel like you guys have made one heck of a modern-day classic rock album.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
thank
much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It was very refreshing, and we'll dive deeper into the album in a little bit. But I really want to get to know you guys and learn more about your history as a band, especially considering you're so young. So, John, I want to start.
Absolutely.
John, if you don't mind, I want to start with you.
Yeah.
Because your riffs and your solos on this album are so fun to listen to.
Thank
And
you
I
so
feel-
much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. And I feel like they should be like far beyond your years, but they're not. At what age did you start? At what age did you start playing the guitar?
I started playing at 8 years old.
Okay. How old are you now?
I'm 16.
You're 16.
So,
Okay.
yeah. My dad really got me inspired in playing in like guitar and stuff and rock and roll in general. But what really got me going was the game Guitar Hero, like, you know, the plastic guitar with the buttons and stuff. And it got my fingers going. And then I wanted a real guitar around like 8 years old. So that's what got me going. Yeah.
That's awesome. I remember the funny thing. I remember Guitar Hero because I had that, and friends would come over, and we'd be like, "This is great." We were older than you back then. This is like 2008,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd be playing it, but we'd be like, "This is awesome. This is going to get kids wanting to play and get them into like bands like Ozzy and all the classic rock bands." And here we are, 12 years later. It worked.
Yeah.
Worked pretty well.
It did work.
Now, there's definitely a little Eddie Van Halen going on with your style. I'm curious to know who were some of your early influences.
100% Eddie Van Halen. He's definitely my number one. But, like, honestly, any 80s rock guitar player, you know? They always, like, everyone's got their different feel and their different, you know, playing and stuff. But definitely Eddie Van Halen because he's more than just a guitarist. He's like an inventor. I literally have 2 of his guitars. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
you know?
Yeah.
So I definitely take inspiration from him.
That's cool. Now, did you discover these guys on your own, or did you have guidance from your parents or friends outside of
Definitely
rock band?
from my dad. 100% from my dad. Like, literally at 2 years old, he was blasting Van Halen through the house. So, yeah,
That's good parenting.
It is.
So now you met your bass player, Ryan, was it like a talent show or a
Yes,
school?
because we went to the same school, and it was a talent show. And I remember we had our own band going, and Ryan was doing his own act, and he was singing, and he was insane. And I was like, I need him in my band. So then that's how me and Ryan got together from that, yeah.
Okay, so Ryan, before you guys brought in Adam, Ryan, you guys were, I think, the Metal Hawks, right? So you were a 3-piece, but you were the singer and you did double duty. You were a bass player too?
Yeah, I started off just singing vocals. Like, even like singing just started off kind of by accident. So this new kid that had moved in like the year before, like we bonded over music. And of course we went our own ways. But at the time it was awesome for me to finally have somebody who had like similar interest in music as I did. And so we did the talent show that year. I met Johnny backstage. We talked about our influences, and like Van Halen came up. I was like, oh my God, I love Van Halen.
Mhm.
And like Johnny said, you know, I need this kid in my band. And so their
That's
previous
awesome.
singer, so that summer their previous singer quit, and then I came into the band to audition, and they loved me like right from the get-go, and it was awesome. And that was like 2014, so that was roughly 6 years ago that John and I have been together.
Mhm.
And then Alex came in later on, and that's I don't know if John wants to explain it or Alex wants to explain it.
Yeah, sure.
They're
I'll
pretty much
explain
our
it.
dads, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
my
We went to
dad
the same.
and Alex's dad.
Yeah, we went to the same music school, so then we kind of just linked up through the dads, and then the rest takes it from there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
So
we
how did you get? Ryan? How did you get into the bass then?
So pretty much from the second we started the band, we were searching for a bass player, but nobody really wanted to play bass or anything. I mean, I did have a friend that was playing bass for us for a couple of months, but after that, he just sort of flaked out. And
Yeah.
so one night I just decided to say screw it and bring my bass to practice one night. And Johnny and Alex were like, dude, I don't know if we're gonna be able to find a better bass player. You know? And honest to God, I wasn't even sure if I could do it at first.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
as time went on and as I practiced it more and more, it just became more of a comfortable thing for me. And it was something I just got used to.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah, no.
suits you, man. It's awesome, and I dig the edge you have on stage and what you bring to the band in general. Did you have like any bass playing heroes growing up?
Well, definitely Geddy Lee is like my number one spot, but I also love guys like John Entwistle from The Who and Cliff Burton from Metallica. God rest his soul.
Oh yes, the best for sure. That's
funny
awesome.
story with that though. With the whole Frank Bello thing, what really pushed Ryan to get into bass was my uncle was really good friends with Frank Bello. So he's bassist from Anthrax.
From
if you didn't
Anthrax,
know.
right?
Yeah, really great guy. They're all great people. But so my uncle is like, oh, my nephew's band is trying to get a bass player, but the singer can also play bass. So Frank, indirectly gave Ryan a text, through word and just said, yo, you got to pick up that bass. And then that's when I think Ryan really took the title of it. He owned
That's
up
amazing.
to it. And no, he's awesome. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
amazing. Yeah, I
Shout
have
out to
two
Frank
very
Bello.
close friends. I have two very close friends who toured with Anthrax around the world in the early 2000s, and I grew up. I loved that band growing up, and it was so
No,
good to
they're
hear. They were telling me they're like the nicest guys. All of them. They're just so cool.
No, they are. They're great
Yeah.
people.
That's great.
They're
yeah.
from New York. They're from New York too, just like us.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
guys are from So you guys are from Long Island.
Long
Yeah,
Island.
we are.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so now you have Alex is in the band, and you guys developed chemistry pretty quickly. You, Ryan, and Alex,
Oh yeah.
and that's important, right?
Definitely.
You guys want to lock down that rhythm and percussion part of the band.
Mhm. Mhm.
No, definitely.
Alex, who did you grow up like idolizing when it comes to drumming?
Well, in the beginning, I really my idol was probably Travis Barker because I was very into like that punk actually. Like I actually never thought of even like being in a rock band, hard rock band, because I was just so infatuated with like punk. The style of drums for punk. It's just so like it's like sick to me. I mean, I saw Travis play live last summer and he was insane. But then like as I grew older and I got into the Metal Hawks, you really just get an appreciation. And I started listening to drummers like Mike Portnoy. Still listen to Travis Barker because he's awesome. And really like my genres honestly go everywhere just because I like to throw every little bit. I don't really like to just focus on like the hard rock kind of aspect of drumming. I really just like to put in the punk style, just to give it that difference, just that it's like same old band, just getting recycled. But gives it a different flavor, I have fun doing it too, putting some nice drum beats to it, it's all fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And those are all awesome drummers.
Yeah. Taylor Hawkins too, Foo Fighters, one of my favorite bands. Dave Grohl. Yeah, definitely. Love
Those
all
guys
of
are
them.
good.
There's probably
That's
more
awesome.
other people, but can't think of them at the top of the head. Yeah.
That's awesome. So John, you guys are a three-piece. You're playing a couple of shows. At what point did you guys come together as a band? Did you have like a realization that, hey, we need a fourth member, maybe a designated singer, before you guys went out and found Adam? Or how'd that work out?
Well, if you don't mind me answering the question,
Yeah,
it sort of came by accident, but not really. Like we were just at that time before we even met Adam, we were just intent on trying to make it as like this three-piece band. But then from this guy who's now one of our current managers, they were working on a project with Adam and they needed a band. And so we figured, why not? This guy was an American Idol. He's a pretty good singer from what we heard. Let's give this a shot. And we've been at it for the past year, and it's honestly, there hasn't been one regret about it. It's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and Adam, you got quite the story and quite the voice. And like Ryan was saying, most people know you from American Idol. So you were a finalist in, was it 2015?
Yeah. It was right before they canceled the show and moved it to another network.
Okay. Yeah. So you're
and yeah, so it was a lot of fun. A good experience.
yeah. Did performing under like that stress and the scrutiny of that stage really help you, at least with this band, and make you feel like you can accomplish anything?
Yeah, I mean, so I was never really one to be nervous about things. And so I kind of looked at it as just a great opportunity and just to have fun out there and meet a bunch of amazingly talented people. You know, get to see J-Lo in person. A lot of good perks, you know. So I just went on and just kept going round after round. I was usually the guy that was calming other people down that had the nerve, and I got a lot of cool experiences just playing in Detroit, playing in Hollywood, California, and all these other places like the Orpheum Theater. And it definitely helps, you know, from the experience side when you're going to make your own band. You know, like there aren't a million lights at every show that we do. There aren't, you know, a packed house every time. So,
right.
Not yet, at
having
least.
that
Not yet.
experience, I think
Yeah,
definitely keeps
it's
you
getting bigger.
level-headed.
It's coming. Well, I mean, speaking of
Exactly.
packed house, you did a performance on that show of "I Want to Rock" by Twisted Sister that totally stood out. And for me personally, it just reinforced the idea that something special happens to us when we hear classic, anthemic, hard rock being sung live.
Yeah.
Especially after a bunch of people are singing like Mariah Carey or Christina Aguilera over and over.
Yeah.
You know, and it's nothing against that type of music, but the vibe changes. And you were one of the few on that show who actually sang heavy metal, who sang rock, and it stood out. And I looked back onto YouTube and I saw some of these videos, and you can go ahead and do it, guys. Go on YouTube, check it out. The audience and the judges all got launched into like a different atmosphere when you were singing. And me personally, my hairs on my arms stood up watching from home. And I bet it happened to like almost everybody in that room as well.
Yeah, it's
So
a different
what is it
energy.
about what is it about rock and roll that does that to us?
I think it's the energy and the emotion that's in that type of music. Even in a slow ballad, that rock feeling is definitely in there. And when you do a song like "I Want to Rock," it's like a classic anthem for rock and roll, and it just fills your body with energy. You have to get up and move, or you have to bang your head to it, or slam your fist in the air, get the devil horns going.
Yeah.
Just get all that energy out, because it just starts building up. You hear the drums and the bass bringing it in, the guitars just going crazy, and the vocals
about you
just
guys.
Screaming up there, you know.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I even get goosebumps on stage. I'm like, damn, that sounds pretty good right there.
I agree.
That's awesome.
No, but
It's definitely a fun experience just playing rock.
I miss it. Definitely miss it. You know, this quarantine makes you
Always fun.
realize what you have, and you can't take anything for granted. Just be thankful.
Oh,
for
God,
it,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So
Definitely.
you guys haven't got together at all to jam and practice at all?
Not
I've
at
been
all,
stuck
really.
at our house.
Not since it started to get really bad.
Yeah.
We just try to do our best just to stay in the game. You know, we released a few music videos. You know, do that.
Yeah.
Do
The Strain music video we just made, we all did that from our homes, and that was the whole theme of the Strain music video, was just to be like a quarantine kind of music video.
Yeah. So where you're seeing everybody now kind of make these home videos, and it's all compartmentalized, and they all got their own little square. You guys did that. I think you released a Strain video like the first week into quarantine, right?
Yeah.
Like, right.
The
Yeah.
idea just came organically. It was like, man, how are we going to make any more music videos if we're all stuck at home? And it was just the next logical step. It's like, well, you know what? Just everybody film yourselves, and then we'll put it together, and it's like we're all playing together again, even though we're all separate.
Yeah, no, it's a fun video. Didn't you come up with the riff to that video, that song, Adam?
Yeah, actually, I had the idea for that song when I was at the gym right before we had a practice session, and I was just feeling it that day. I'm like, oh my God, like this is getting annoying, and you just start to feel the strain, and that it just started coming out. You know, you're on the treadmill and it's just chugging along like dun, 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 you know?
That's awesome.
Sometimes
just
it hits
going.
you like that. That's funny.
We've all
But
been
we
there.
all work together, you know, to work on the songs.
So you guys get together. What was that like? So how did you get introduced to the band?
So I was actually
African-American
working with. I was working with. I was in a cover band
Okay.
called The Influence, and we were playing in Long Beach one day, and we met a guy named Peter who happened to be doing like the sound at the bar that we were playing at. And he was like, "Hey, I like you're really good at singing. Like, why don't you come back? I have a studio in my house. Why don't you come back and we can maybe just start recording some stuff or working on a little project?" I'm like, "Okay, sure."
Yeah.
And so once we were
Little
comfortable,
did you know,
like
Peter had no, I'm kidding.
once we were comfortable
Oh no, yeah.
working together, and we're like, you know what, like we need a band behind this project. That one of his friends and associates, Rich, ended up saying, "Hey, I know this band called the Metal Hawks, and they're really awesome, like super young guys. Like we should check them out." So we got together, we did a little practice, and it was like the light switch clicked on, and it was like, "Yep, this is it. Oh man, holy shit, watch out!"
That's awesome.
And
What year was
yeah,
this?
that's pretty much. It was just history after that. Maybe a couple months later, we started writing our own songs, and it was great.
So what year
And
was this? Was
is
this
it-
like 2018, 2017?
Well,
I think
2019 was when we got
2019, yeah,
Yeah.
2019. Wow.
early, yeah,
Wow. So,
like during the
so within
summer.
a year.
Things
So you
we
guys
got.
pretty much started writing songs right away. What's
Yeah,
the process
yeah.
like with you guys? Do you guys like to bring something to the table, or do you guys all get together and start jamming? How's that work?
Usually it's a little bit of both. Like or it could go either way. Like sometimes I'll bring something to the table, or Johnny. It's usually Johnny nowadays who brings stuff to the table, and then
Bring like a
just-
riff or something.
yeah,
Sure.
then we just start to jam out together and see if we can finish the song, or at least like build on it more. And if something
Yeah.
doesn't work, we don't just like throw it out. We can always just recycle it for another song.
Yeah, table it till later. What was the first song you guys wrote?
I think it was Wasting Time.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
great
I
song.
think so too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
interesting.
banger.
Sometimes it comes together all in one day. Like Strain kind of just came all together at once.
Yeah,
From idea
definitely.
to like pretty much finished song minus lyrics. And with a song like Wasting Time, I think we spent a little more time on it. And really that one took a little more tinkering, so it's a different
Yeah.
process for each song.
Sure. Plus, that was your first song, right? And you're kind of
Yeah.
figuring it all out together.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Adam, do you prefer writing the lyrics after the song's kind of been constructed, or do you have an idea as you're doing it, or beforehand?
So usually it's after, because when we're kind of working on like riffs or just the structure of the song, I like to just kind of throw syllables in where I feel like a melody might be, and I don't know what lyrics I'm gonna look for. I don't know even what the song's gonna be about sometimes, and I'll just jump in with a melody and just try to see if I can figure out a chorus or figure out what a verse might sound like or the intro, and just get a melody down before I go thinking about, well, maybe this song feels like it should be about this, or like I like these words in the chorus. Maybe I can work the song around that kind of thing.
Yeah, and also
Sure.
another thing about Adam's vocals, they're so rhythmic. It's almost like another instrument of its own. I mean, obviously it's another. It's great. It's like a whole other. It's like a whole
Yeah.
other voice. The band
I-
just adds like, yeah. That's
I try to keep it integrated. I don't want to make it feel like the band is playing one thing and I'm singing something else. It's like
Mhm.
I wanted to make it all feel like it makes sense together.
And that's why I love writing songs with you. You don't try to like put yourself like above the band, or we don't try to put ourselves above you. We just try, when we
Yeah.
write songs, it's always like we're on the same level, and we write the songs so that we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works, and that's kind of what I was saying at the intro, was that you guys all shine as individuals on this album, but it works so well as a unit. You guys really do have great chemistry.
Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it. We really do.
Yeah, you're welcome.
yeah.
And so you made the album. It just came out Friday, and it's self-titled. So it's Adam and the Metal Hawks, and I mean there's a lot of fun rocking songs on it. So, and it's released on Illogical Records. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Logical Records, that's it.
And how did you guys find them, or did they find you?
Well,
They
were
found
originally
us.
Well, no. They were with Adam, because Pete and Rich are part of Logical Records, or the management team of it, and they were already working with Adam. So then when they found us, technically almost Rich, it was kind of like a combined effort. Like at one of our shows, we play at the Half Moon, and Rich found us, and Rich and Pete were working together. And this is when Pete found Adam. So then Rich was like, "Oh, I think I have the band for you to back you up." And then one thing after another, we're at Pete's house, seeing how things are going, and Adam joins us for next show, and like freaking it was awesome. I mean, like that's really how everything came together.
Yeah,
And then,
kind of all the
that was
pieces kind of
history.
lined up at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean it's an independent record label, because they really were just there in management. So no, shout out to them. They're doing a great job.
Do any touring like locally? Do you guys play any shows together out in Long Island or New York?
Mostly
Oh,
it's been just local shows right now. We are set to play at the Riverside Open Air Festival in Auburg, Switzerland, assuming that this virus doesn't like postpone it or whatever. It's supposed to be the end of August, but it might get postponed. We're supposed to be opening up for the Hollywood Vampires.
Wow, it's amazing. The Hollywood Vampires with Alice Cooper, Joe Perry, and Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I'm
It's-
Brian.
star-studded cast.
Yeah, not a bad gig. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you guys spoken to any of them or met any of them?
Nope,
Not yet.
not at all.
Yeah, not yeah,
Hopefully,
but
as long as everything
coming.
goes through, we'll talk to them. That'll
Exactly.
be awesome.
We'll talk to them backstage. Get a picture with
Yeah.
them, and we're set.
I'm sure they're
Yeah.
all
A little
great guys.
selfie
And it's going to
going.
happen. It's going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
If it
yeah,
doesn't
it will.
happen this year, it'll happen some other
Whether it's-
time.
Whether it's
Yeah.
August or November or next summer, it'll happen.
Now
Definitely.
you guys did it's such a great cover of, you guys did Billie Eilish's Bad Guy.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
and it's an awesome cover. And the video is so entertaining too. It's a lot of fun. Captures your guys' personalities. Whose idea was it?
this was Peter's idea
It was
actually.
Pete.
And I remember going home and just thinking to myself, like, how the hell are we gonna make this work? This is like Billie Eilish is just like way out of our league. Not to say she's better or worse, but it's just totally different from what we do. And to try and make a rock cover that, it seems kind of ludicrous to me. But then we sat at a rehearsal, we rehashed it out, and like the first and second time we played it, I was like, dude, this wasn't supposed to sound good. But it ended up working just beautifully though. And the video was a lot of fun to make.
Yeah.
We did a lot of cool stuff with that.
It's definitely
it was
like
a lot
a,
of fun.
it's like our own version, like our own rock version of it.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do it with a cover, right? Make it your own.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Exactly.
No.
Now, did you guys
Oh,
hear
fun.
anything from her camp on that song and that cover?
No, it would have been cool if we
reached
did.
out a little bit, but nothing came back. She's probably very busy
Yeah, I'm sure.
at
Probably.
the time,
You probably got mixed in with the other 1,000 notifications she's getting a day.
Yeah, I know.
Like, oh, great. Another cover band just made a video of me. Great.
Yeah, exactly. Never
I'm
seen
just
that
messing around.
before.
I'm sure she was
Yeah.
getting a lot of that at that time, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And it is the
Yeah.
most popular video on our YouTube channel right now as we speak.
Awesome. What is that
Definitely,
YouTube channel?
It's Adam and the Metal Hawks.
Yep. All our social media, it's simple. Just Adam and the Metalhawks.
There
Our
you go.
website, at Metalhawks. There you go.
Facebook,
easy.
Instagram, YouTube, Twitter.
Twitter.
We're on all
Everyone,
that.
everyone watching this, I'm expecting to get a few more likes after this little interview. So
There
let's
you
hop
go.
on that.
I'll be watching.
up.
I'm watching the numbers,
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
you got to
saying.
keep track. You got to know what works and what doesn't.
Keeping my eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So-
That's the whole thing about social media. That's why Johnny is like all over it. Like I know he's only 16 years old, but he just does so much research into the social media. Even when it comes to hashtags, there's a certain way to do that. He's just all over that. I love
Damn,
it.
Ryan, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
No
do my
problem,
thing.
dude. It's only the
He's
truth.
got Johnny's got this magic touch with social media. I don't know what it is.
Exactly. Special sauce.
You gotta-
No one's ever gonna know.
We leave him in
secret.
charge of that.
You got to do that. Maybe some like 5-second shots of your guitar solos for Instagram or TikTok, right? TikTok. There you go.
Yeah, TikTok.
TikTok, there you
on
go,
TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. TikTok, I
I
feel
try-
is kind of
Yeah.
TikTok. I feel is kind of a hard platform to really promote your band on. I mean, Instagram and Facebook are definitely better platforms to do so. Whereas TikTok, it's really just dancing videos and memes and stuff like that. The one way
Yeah,
I could see us making it on TikTok is if somebody danced to one of our songs, or like I said before, like to use our songs as a meme or whatever. Like if they use "Hey Hey Mama" as a meme, and that TikTok blew up, then other people will be listening to it, and the streaming would go up. People would want to know what the song is. So that would be the idea if you want to go viral on TikTok.
Right.
Yeah, I agree
All right,
with
so
that.
now since
Like
you said
this-
that,
like
we
that-
have a new challenge
like-
going out. Whoever can dance the best,
Yeah.
Hey Hey Mama. I want to see this.
Hey,
Tag the
Mitch,
band,
go.
and well, whoever wins gets a free signed CD. There you go.
Who can do the best, Adam? Hey, hey,
Yeah.
mama.
Exactly. That's
Speaking
what
of
I
Hey
think,
Hey Mama, so we got Hey Hey Mama, Shining in the Moonlight, Radio Song, Wasting Time, Strain, Moments You Let Go. These are some of my favorites off the new album. Do you guys have personal favorites? John, we'll stick it with you. Do you have a personal one at least to play a guitar solo on?
I think it's gotta be. I love them all, but it's gotta be Strain because I'm always throwing in little licks like in between the verses, and each time Adam's done singing, I'm always doing like my own type of thing. Plus, when we play that song live, we extend the solos to like double
Nice.
the length, and
Yeah.
even Alex has a solo. It's pretty nuts. So I think that's
I noticed
Strain.
in the video for that, you did a little finger tapping on that during the solo part.
Yes, I did. Some little
Yeah.
deviate flicks right there. There
Yeah.
you go.
Got to
It
throw
was
it
a fun
in.
solo. It was very fun.
How
That's what I
about
was
you,
like.
Ryan?
I mean, Strain is definitely up there for me, just because it, like when we do that song live, it showcases each of us like individually, but also shows how well we blend together as a band. The Turnaround's another fun one. Wasting Time is a fun one for me to play. Even Every Little Thing, Moment You Let Go. Hey Hey Mama, obviously, Long That Rock. I love them all, but those are my favorites.
Nice. Alex?
My absolute favorite, I'm probably have to go with Wasting Time just because I love the groove on it. It has that Rage Against the Machine kind of vocals
Yeah.
and like whole backbeat with it. I just love that band, and I think it's just like no, I think it's a good song. And I mean, Turnaround's great. I mean, that was our first one that we ever released. So that's has a special place in my heart, you know. And Every Little Thing, Moment You Let Go, those are all fun songs. Hey Hey Mama, love the breakdown. No, I mean, it goes on and on. All of them have their little thing about them. I mean, you really got to, and they're all different from each other too, which is good. So I mean, you know, really got to pick and choose.
Adam, do you have a favorite one to sing?
I do love singing "Long Die Rock." You know,
Yes.
doing that one live and getting the whole crowd involved on the choruses, and kind of usually I'll do like a little lead into the song with a little story where I kind of set up the song. I'm talking about how like once I was done with American Idol, I knew I need to make a rock and roll band, and there were a ton of naysayers, a bunch of haters, you know, that are saying, why would you make a rock band? Like, rock is dead. Like, you know, just be a pop star or something. And I said, well, then if rock is dead, then long
The
die
Long
rock.
Die Rock.
Let it die for
That's awesome.
another 1,000 years, you know? Like,
Yeah.
if this is what dead is, like, come on, dude. Everybody loves rock.
That's
Mhm.
great.
So
Absolutely.
that's kind of the story behind the song.
Nice.
and I
Where does
try
that
to-
one fall? Where does that one fall on the set list? Is that a closer?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, always
Definitely.
cool.
Closer and encore, you know, get the whole crowd going
Yeah, I love it.
and just
Definitely.
blow the roof off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
One.
So I read this article last week about jobs that famous rock stars had before they became rock stars, right? So for example, like Ozzy, this is like, you know, really goofy stuff. So Ozzy Osbourne, he worked in a slaughterhouse. Kurt Cobain, Kurt Cobain was a janitor.
Right.
This one's great. So Tom Morello from Rage, he was a stripper.
That is a really interesting one. I'm not gonna lie.
Perfect.
Yeah. And I
Now
think
I
that
know
was
what to go
after
into.
Harvard. Yeah.
Wow.
Gene Simmons was a 6th grade teacher.
That's a hard one to see. I don't know.
Imagine Gene Simmons teaching history.
Yeah.
Mr.
That's good.
Simmons.
I mean, Gene Simmons, maybe sex ed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely sex ed.
Now,
That
Adam,
demon tongue, he can make wonders.
this isn't really odd, but I think it's really cool. So you actually worked as a toy designer.
Yeah, I worked at Fisher Price for a few years.
That's so wild. Did you study like toy design, or how does that happen?
Yeah, so I actually went to school at FIT in the city, Fashion Institute of Technology, and I took toy design there. They had a whole a specific program. It's pretty much like industrial design, but we delved more into specifics on plastics and different regulations when it comes to age and 3 and under versus 5 and under, small parts, all that kind of stuff. But it was definitely really cool. I always loved drawing, and this was a way to draw something and see it actually come to life in the real world. And so that was pretty cool.
For sure. What was the coolest project that you were a part of that you remember?
Well, there were a couple of really cool things I did at Fisher Price. I worked on the Alvin and the Chipmunks toys.
That's nice.
And a couple of the things that I made actually went out to the shelf. There are a couple cool things that I worked on. So that was a lot of fun seeing it actually get to the stores.
That's wild.
That's cool.
See, there you go. Yeah.
I want to put him in charge of making bobbleheads. I feel like that'd be a really fun thing to see. But no pressure though.
I'm working on it. I'll work on it. I'm making my head.
Is it like Adam and the Metal Hawk bobbleheads?
That'd be so sick.
That'd be
Oh,
fun.
great.
Dude, I like that.
That
I
works.
like that. Adam, you gotta hop on that. I'm expecting that for next week, all right?
Or somebody else does,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
You end up
You
going
don't
on
have- you don't have the
Etsy and
talent,
seeing
though.
them already.
So now the rest of you guys, are you guys in college and high school? What's so we got the age group is 16 to 25 roughly.
John, you want to start?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you go
John,
first,
you want to
Johnny.
start?
Well, I used to work at a skating rink for 2 months max, and
Nice.
wasn't that fun. It's not a highlight of my life, but I quit actually 2 weeks before this whole quarantine stuff, so I actually got lucky. A lot of people there, so
Yeah, he's a
that's
True.
about it.
Yeah. He
I'm only
dodged
16,
them.
so I just got the bands. That's my job, but it's more of it's a fun job, so I'll take it.
Yeah,
For sure.
it's a great job.
How about you, Ryan?
Well, since I was about 13, I've worked with family businesses as an electrician. Actually, it's in my family. My father, a couple of my uncles, my grandfather, all electricians. And so since I was 13, I started learning from them, just working over the summer. And after I graduated high school, I just started working with them whenever I could when I wasn't working with the band. I mean, as of now with the virus, that part of my life is definitely on hold because with the virus, people aren't going to have the money and they're not going to want you in your house. So that part of my life is on hold for now, but I'm thankful I got the music and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and you had a cool experience, I'm sure, working with your dad and your grandfather for a family business for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it's I started out with my father's business. He had his own company for a while, and then he got hurt. And so he went back to work with my grandfather, and thus I went to follow him and went to work for them.
There you go. And then Alex, how about you? Are you just drumming away? Are you going to
Yeah,
school?
but I go to Hofstra, actually. I'm studying engineering. It's pretty demanding. A lot of math. A little too much
Yeah.
for me. I'm on my last year of math.
Oh, yeah.
We're wrapping it up, so we're good. But
Just
I
like
used to work-
every drummer, right? You're using math and science to solve the
Exactly.
world's
No, I
problems.
mean, I
course.
got the click. I got the click going through my head. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all I'm saying all day long, But
Yeah.
jobs. I used to work at Party City. That was a good one. Not really, but yeah, no. And then I quit that to go work at the what's it called? Jones Beach is a beach near us. They have a whole concert thing, and I used to work there, selling food or whatever. And yeah, that was pretty good, but it's probably gonna close down this year just because of the whole circumstances, So
Yeah.
hopefully the band picks up some money so I can get some money out of it, because right now I got nothing. Because I quit Party City, but then I was planning on doing the Jones Beach thing over the summer since it's seasonal. But I mean the band takes up so much of my time, just practicing, it's 4 or 5 hours a day sometimes, I mean, it's just it's a lot. It's a job in itself.
Yeah, but it's the
Definitely.
best job, I'm sure.
No, of course,
Yeah.
I love it.
100%.
Absolutely is.
And then Adam, on a final note, you have I think you have a little voiceover gig, don't you?
Yeah, so just the past couple of years, I've been trying to get into voice acting. And I have had parts on Pokemon, the TV show, and a couple of movies. And I've been in a couple of other animated shows and movies. And just trying to get in, do some commercials maybe, you know, if anybody out there listening needs a wacky cartoon voice, you let me know, or a hard rocking scream, you know.
Yeah,
He's
you
your
gotta
go-to
you gotta
guy.
give us a little of your Pokemon voice.
Yeah.
So the guy on
Yeah, you
Pokemon,
got to Ryuki.
the guy on Pokemon, his name is Ryuki. He's like a rock and roll gym leader. He's got all
Wow.
dragon types, and he's super awesome. He's like, I'm Ryuki, famous star. He's like, you
That's
know,
awesome.
he's definitely similar to me, very outlandish and over the top, and that's what I love about him.
That's great, man. Well, awesome, guys.
Too
Thank you
bad.
so much. I like
Yeah.
to wrap up the show by doing kind of making a collaborative Spotify playlist, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Awesome.
Do it.
Now, for this theme, this happened to me a couple weeks ago. So I was around the house, and are you guys familiar with the band Dirty Honey?
Yes.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
those
they're
guys.
they're great.
Awesome. Yeah, they're an awesome band, Southern California band. Anyways, I was on Spotify, and you know how that gives you an option to play like Dirty Honey Radio? It's basically like a Pandora feature where it plays,
Right,
plays the
right.
band, you know, and similar bands. Okay, so I did that, and it was playing, I mean, great music. It was playing Great White from the 80s, Led Zeppelin, Black Crowes, Faster Pussycat. But it was like doing this broad spectrum of music, and I thought it was a little bit unbalanced, because if I go on like Black Crowes radio, for example, it's not going to play Dirty Honey. It's not going to play Adam and the Meadowhawks.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
You know what I mean? So as
definitely.
much as I love the Pioneers, it's 2020, and I believe this is the decade that's going to belong to rock. Rock is coming back, and it's time we push and expose new bands like you guys and make a new little spotlight for you guys to shine and make your own scene again. So while we're still respecting and idolizing the past, I really want to make a playlist about some new, you know, maybe the past 5 or 6 years type of bands
Yeah.
and share it with the world, all right?
Awesome.
Definitely.
Definitely,
Awesome.
let's do it.
I'm going to start. I'm going to do Adam the Meadowhawks, you guys, and we're going to do Hey Hey Mama.
Ooh.
Good
There we
one.
go.
I like it.
All right, who's next? You want me to go next?
Adam, you're up.
Next.
Adam?
Adam's up.
Adam, let's do
I'm
it.
up. All right. So there's a little band called Greta Van Fleet. You may have heard of.
A little
Yeah.
band.
They're you know just starting out you know, just touring and being awesome. But they have a 6-song highway tune that I really like. And it's just got that
No,
classic
good.
rock feel, you know. They're very Led Zeppelin-y to me, but they still make it feel like new, you know.
Yeah, that's great.
Definitely.
They're
There you
awesome. All right. Who wants to be second? John, Ryan, Alex?
I'll go. I'll do Dirty Honey, Rolling Sevens. That's like their video that blew up, you know?
Yes.
Amazing,
That
that song.
video's
It's a
cool, yeah.
masterpiece. Yeah, the video's amazing. I love that video.
Great band. I think
Yeah,
When I'm Gone,
Yeah, that's a
their
great
other,
video.
Yeah.
their other
When
song
I'm Gone.
they were the first independent band to ever be
Mhm.
number one on Billboard's mainstream rock radio. They were great.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's absolutely insane.
That's crazy.
But that's a good sign, right? You know, you got them, you got the Struts, and you got
Exactly,
Greta
yeah.
Van Fleet. You got some
Definitely.
rock coming back, yeah. All right, so John went. Ryan, how about you? You next?
I'm gonna go with another Greta song. I'm gonna go with "When the Curtain Falls." That's another great video. Again, you got the Zeppelin kind of vibe, and the video they're like in the desert, and like Jake Kiska's just plugging into the ground, and they're just kicking ass. I love the
I
video.
love
I
that
love the
song.
song. I'll go with that one.
All right, Alex, you're up.
Probably, I'll throw it back to Dirty Honey. I like the song When I'm Gone. It's a good song.
Nice.
Died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the pace of it. It's cool. No, it's fun.
Awesome. I'm gonna do a
Round up.
band that's these guys have been around about 10 years, but I think they're awesome. And they've put about 4 or 5 albums. Each album keeps getting better. They're called Rival Sons.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think I heard of those. I think I saw them at Jones Beach opening up for Def Leppard and Kiss a while back. They were pretty
Oh,
good.
wow.
Yeah, you probably did. They're great. And the song's gonna be "Do Your Worst."
You're worse.
You're
I got to
worse.
do some
I can-
research on them. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I was saying,
I like
Good.
that.
I think they're good. I think musically they're great role models for you guys because they just keep it real and they keep pumping out great music.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Perfect.
That's cool.
Check
Sick,
it out.
yeah.
Definitely.
All right, Adam, you're up.
Adam.
All right, well, this might be, I don't know if it's outside of the window that we're talking about, but I was always a big fan of Imagine Dragons when they first came out.
Great
They had
band.
like some good songs. They had like Radioactive and that like I feel like that was their big first song. But I liked more recently. I think last year they released Believers, and that's like
Yeah.
a super cool like. It feels like it's heavy, but it's got so much space to it, so that's really nice. I just feel like
No,
it's
I like that song.
very cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Cool. John, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna go with Liliac. It's also another young band, and they literally released this song like 2 or 3 days ago called "Nothing," and it's literally a quarantine video just like us, which is kind of cool.
That's
It's like
great.
perfect timing.
Yeah.
It's an awesome song.
Everybody's
Awesome.
got to put out one now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They're all
no,
looking
yeah,
at
yeah.
us. You know?
Yeah, it's
They're
all
looking at what
it's
we're
all
doing.
that. It's all part of that big bandwagon of quarantine music videos.
There you go. All right. Ryan, you're up.
Now this one might be a little extreme, but in the other direction, like Adams. So there's this new heavy metal band, like thrash metal band called Enforcer. I think they're from Sweden, and their song Destroyer is just absolutely killer. And their music video for that, it's almost like something out of the '80s. And they sound so much like Metallica, but they just put their own spin on it. Love Enforcer.
Awesome. I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, they're
And
great.
then, Alex, you're up.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I am terrible with names, so I'm just gonna put it out there, and I'm sure there's a lot of great new and upcoming bands. But if I'm gonna give a favorite song, probably like what really just got me started to like being infatuated with music. Foo Fighters, My Hero. That song really just like made me realize what it's all about. I mean, like just like the passion to have, just to play. But yeah, I mean, I'm not that good with names, so I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of great new upcoming bands, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, that works, man. That song doesn't age.
No, definitely not.
All right. There's this other band that's pretty new, and they're pretty good. I'm gonna go with Crowbot, and the song's called "Keep Me Down."
Ooh,
Okay.
robot. Add that to the list to research later.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's taking notes on all of that.
Taking notes. I like to see what other people are doing.
Yeah. You're gonna love them.
Take inspiration.
For sure.
That's
All right, Adam. Should we do one more round?
Let's
Let's
do
do
it.
one more round. I got a good one here. I don't know if you've ever heard of the band Black Tide.
I haven't.
I don't know if they've put anything.
Write that
out
down, Johnny.
recently,
Write that down.
I'm writing it down. I got it.
A fair amount of years ago, they put out a song called "Warriors of Time," and it's like
Okay.
a super sick. Reminded me of some of the Guitar Hero stuff that you'd hear back in the day. Very, very like fantasy, like over the top. Super awesome.
Nice. Awesome.
All right. So there's this band that used to be called Black Coffee, but they recently switched their name to South of Eden. They actually follow us on Instagram. They're really cool dudes.
Yeah.
And about a year ago, yes, that band. About a year ago, they put out a song called "I Barely Know Her," and I'm telling you, this song is insane. It got like 500,000 hits on YouTube. It's a crazy song. It's been stuck in my head like this whole week. I recently got back into them. They're insane. Definitely recommend it.
Awesome. Awesome. And then Ryan, you're up.
Can I do an one for this next one?
Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Twisted Sister. We're not gonna take him. I mean, for me, it's definitely one of the songs that really got me into rock music. And actually, funny story, somewhat related to that. One year, I actually dressed up as Dee Snider for Halloween. I was probably like maybe 9 or 10 years old, and
That's awesome.
all my friends thought I was Miley Cyrus. but also like but like, that was hilarious looking back on it. But also that was,
Awesome.
but that was also one of the first songs I ever played with Johnny and our old drummer. Like that 6 years ago when we first started jamming. So that definitely holds a place in my heart.
Yeah,
So I'm-
that's
I'm
another
gonna have
song
to go
that
with We're
doesn't
Not
really
Gonna Take It.
age. That's
Yeah,
a
it never
classic.
ages. And if you're just fed up with your authority figures and just the world in general, just play this song.
Yeah. Those are
Yeah.
Long Island boys too, right?
Yep.
Long Island Boys,
Yeah.
Long Island
Indeed.
Legends.
I
Right.
just interviewed so Jesse Blaze, who's Dee Snider's son. He came on the show last week. Super nice guy. He's
Oh,
got
wow.
some new Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah, he's got some new music coming out. And yeah, it's a talented family.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They are talented.
I actually
All right.
a new band came to mind. Well, it's kind of new. It's like somewhat new. Winery Dogs by
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's got
Wonderful.
Mike Portney in it, right?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite drummers. Like he's awesome.
Billy
I just love his
Sheehan.
style. Yeah, I mean every single one of their songs I would recommend. Like Elevate, Hot Streak, goes on and on. We Are One. I don't even know. Literally just look up
Nice.
their name and like you're gonna like their songs. I love them. No, they're great. Like they make they make like complicated music like this seem like so seamless and just like switching between like time signatures. It's usually it's so choppy. But I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I didn't even realize.
That's right.
It's great. No, it's really good.
That's what I love about a band like Rush too. Like I said before, like Geddy Lee is one of my probably my biggest influence. But just the way that they can like switch between time signatures and make it so seamless, even if you can't tap your foot to an odd meter, then it just seems so seamless. The way they did it, it was magical.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's insane, especially if you're a three-piece. They just
Yeah.
which
Just
my
going
next band will be a three-piece. It's they're fairly new. They've been playing it for about 8 or 10 years. They're called Rad Key. They're three brothers, and I like a lot of their songs, but they have one in particular called Romance Dawn. Great.
Nice. So from up,
No,
man,
it's
to
cool.
the list. There you go.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're great. You guys
Check
will
them
dig
out.
them. And then I'm going to throw another Adam and the Meadowhawks on. I got to do Long Die Rock to wrap it up.
There we go.
There we go.
End the show. There we go.
And we're leaving off a lot of good
perfect.
bands from like the Struts and Them Evils.
Yeah, the
and
Struts
that-
Body Talk.
course.
You can add that on.
So-
That's insane. That song.
Yeah, we'll make it collaborative. So you know what? We can share it, and your audience, my audience, whoever wants to, can actually add to the list. Okay.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
cool.
absolutely. That's
Awesome.
really cool.
It's exciting.
Well, guys, I'm a
Nice.
big believer in you. Instinctively, I think you guys know what to do. It's inside of you, and you guys have the skill to execute. Just be yourselves, and I think the sky's the limit. Best of luck.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very
That's
much.
fun, baby. Thank you so much.
We're gonna keep
Thank you.
pushing out.
Yeah, and please plug your stuff one more
Definitely.
time. Where can you buy the music? AdamandtheMetalHawks.com, is that it?
So
Yeah,
you can stream. You can stream my
get a
music.
hard
Yeah, go
copy
ahead.
on it.
Yeah, if you're really into that, you can get the hard copy on CD. But you're also up for streaming it anywhere, whether it be on Spotify, Apple Music. Obviously, they're available for purchase on iTunes if you're into that too. It's available however you want it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming on the Burn
definitely.
Music Show.
Thank you
Again,
for having
thanks
us.
for having us.
You're
Thank
welcome. And like we said, if there's ever a time when you guys are opening up for a band, you're doing a tour, if you're headlining a tour, whatever it is, you come to Chicago. I'd love to have you in studio face to face. It'd be great.
Definitely.
No,
Yeah,
That'd be
that'll
so fun.
That'll be great, man. I can't wait for that.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night, man.
Talk soon.
All right, take care of yourself.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Follow Burn Music Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And please subscribe to Burn Music Show wherever podcasts are played. Peace and keep on rocking.